back level in the game, but again, it's been a long season for both teams, and you have to give credit to Man United for the way they executed their game plan.
Where does this leave Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, Eric Ten Hag? All the reports this week that he's going to get the sack. He's just won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They were almost out against Liverpool. They were millimetres away from losing to Coventry, but they've won the Cup. Does this make it really quite awkward for them?
Well, I don't know. We don't have decisions being made. We spoke about the pressure the manager was under and the questions he got before the game, which is always difficult. He was preparing for the Cup final. I also think in football, you've got to reflect and enjoy the game today. You see the staff, the players, the supporters, and cross that bridge when it comes to it. Listen, the manager's done his job today. He's been heavily criticised because of the league form. We gave him plaudits last year when they finished third in the league and they won the League Cup. This year, real problems in Europe, and obviously they've had injuries. But today, the performance, and I think beating Man City in the Cup final is always it's like an extra bonus. So fingers crossed they support the manager, but let's see how the next few days go.
Yeah.
Ian, you look at it and you go, where was that Manchester United for most of this season? If they played like that, they wouldn't have been finishing eighth.
Remember, you still have to remember that they had a lot of injuries. I know that a lot of people do, but especially to the centre half pairing. You know, it's hard to get the rhythm going. You saw today that once he got the structure of the team, the way they played, the way they dug in, and stopped Man City playing, stopped De Bruyne, stopped Foden, and stopped Bernardo Silva. And then when they broke, they took their opportunities. It's got to be pure credit to Manchester United the way they played, because no one would have thought that Man United would have came to Wembley and been able to do that to Man City. And they did it, so they've got to get all the credit.
They did do it, didn't they, Julian? Exactly as Ian said, we didn't see much of Foden. We saw very little of Haaland, apart from hitting the crossbar. The big cheers for Sir Alex Ferguson, who's here. Haaland hit the bar at 2-1. He probably would have felt he should have scored that, but they really did. How did they neutralise the City players so well?
Yeah, they execute the game plan to perfection. Obviously, there was a threat on the counter-attack, which we've seen over recent seasons, which is the best way to get at City in regards to be deep, be a bit more pragmatic in your defending, but also then counter-attack very quickly. And they did that, and you've got to give a lot of credit to them. They executed their game plan, like I said, to perfection. But yeah, you can't always play like that. I'm sure the Man United fans, as time goes on, they'll want to see a bit more attractive football. But again, in a cup final, it's about winning.
Particularly when it's against your great rivals and the best team in England. So United going up to collect the cup and their medals. Here's Sam Matterface.
Well, that walk is a lot easier. The 107 steps up to the royal box to collect the trophy is so much easier to negotiate when you are the winners of the FA Cup. 732 clubs entered this season's FA Cup, which began almost 10 months ago. And there can only be one winner. The last time that Manchester United won it, everyone knew the manager was leaving. It has the feel of 2016 and Louis van Gaal all over again, but a defiant Eric Ten Hag can point to 2 trophies in his 2 years in charge, 3 finals, which is more than most of the successor to Sir Alex Ferguson have managed. They stood firm under a barrage of attack in the second half, down the flanks from Doku, but maybe Onana wasn't tested enough over the course of the 98 minutes that we had. Eric Ten Hag leads them up the stairs to become the 4th Dutchman to win the FA Cup. The first was Ruud Gullit, 1997, Guus Hiddink and Louis van Gaal. Prince William leading the presentation party, handing out the medals and eventually handing out the cup. Debbie Hewitt, the FA chair. Players streaming up now. Garnacho scoring the first goal of the game after 33 minutes. There is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, whose mood, I'm sure, is much better. Eric Ten Hag has just shaken his hand. He'll hope it's not a golden handshake. He is smiling, and rightly so. He has constructed a team that have played not sufficiently, but above maybe what they have done for most of the season. United have steered their way past Wigan after an early scare, Newport after a late scare, Forest with a 90th minute goal from Casemiro, who pulled up after the teams had been announced today, couldn't take part. He's on the balcony now, though. Liverpool with that 120th minute goal, beating Coventry despite another very, very, very late bit of drama involving VAR. It's been a wild ride. And today, another tale of the unexpected from this Manchester United side that have produced in the FA Cup over and over and over again. Harry Maguire not involved. Bruno snaking his way down the line to ensure that he gets one of the medals. The medals that were delivered by Flight Lieutenant George Shalloway and LPT Elliot Holmes and Captain Gary Lewis from the Air Force, the Navy and the Army respectively. And the Princess of Wales about to present Bruno Fernandes with the iconic FA Cup. It will be a 13th triumph for Manchester United, just one behind Arsenal now. Manchester United, who came into the final as underdogs. Diego Dallo saying yesterday that that gave them more energy. The Red Army have stormed Wembley and toppled the Manchester City all-conquering regime. The FA Cup winners of 2024 are Manchester United.
Yeah, brilliant scenes through it. All the fans to the right of us, to the left, not so. They've all gone home. But they'll enjoy this moment, and they've really, really deserved it. Absolutely spot-on performance from everybody. Coaching staff, players. Don't forget the players have to take the messages on board, as Roy Keane said before the game. Just a little bit of fight, a bit of organisation, and that's exactly what they got today. They got a lot of fight, and they were absolutely tactically brilliant in the game.
Yeah, really well deserved. You know, you can ask a question, where were they during the season, but the fact of the matter is, they turned up today, they turned up for each other, they turned up what they deserved. So, good luck to them. They deserve the celebrations this evening. And I thought it was a tactically astute and spot-on performance. Well done.
How important was the return of Lisandro Martinez to this team?
Oh, massive. I mean, he just kind of Latin American defender, refuses to get beat, doesn't want to get beat, puts his body on the line. That was the performance, but there were some great performances. You mentioned Kobe Mainoo. I thought Rashford played well. I thought Højlund was excellent when he came on. You know, I don't think they had a failure on their team, to be honest with you, lads.
I think everybody played really well in their positions, and that was because the positions on the pitch that Erik ten Hag asked of them was correct for the game they were playing and the opponents they were going against. Absolutely brilliant organisation from him.
Well, they finished 8th in the league. They conceded more goals than at any time since 1964. They limped through the Champions League, a group they should have performed better in. But it is a red letter day for Erik ten Hag. Manchester United were up for the cup. They've beaten City by 2-1.
Thank you very much indeed, Sam Matterface, Lee Dixon, Ali McCoy. Whatever happens to Erik ten Hag, and we do not know what the next 24, 48 hours will bring, he is understandably and rightly so absolutely thrilled as he thrusts the cup into the air 3 times towards the Manchester United supporters in front of us down here on the touchline. More reaction to come from Ian, from Jolyon, from Roy, from the Manchester United camp in a couple of moments' time. They've stunned Man City in the cup by 2-1.